continuar. Estamos no episódio 3. Continuamos.
Previously on Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman. I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you lying.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Bastard.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus. There were only empty sheets of paper here. No manuscript pages. The door was locked. I was a prisoner here.
Escuta o passo pra caramba.
Good evening, Alan. Are we feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Yeah. I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message. Loud and clear.
Quite right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good. This corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together. This way, Alan.
That's pretty 360. Me. Tem coisa pra comigo agora? Pra cá tem. Eu quero explorar isso aqui. Tá pintando. Olha. Porém. Dá pra entrar aqui. Anderson. Então, peraí que eu não vou entrar aí agora. Esse é o moço. Anderson.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
Okay.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, A feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you.
Tá, tem que seguir. Aqui tá a sala. Não posso entrar. Não posso ir pra lugar nenhum.
We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
Será? Posso entrar? Será mesmo? Tipo, porta que eu não posso entrar em nenhuma. Ó, o reloginho. Lake.
I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk.
After all,
Hartman
I'm the one
obviously
trying
loved
to
his
bring
own
you
voice.
out of the
His
world
words
you've
echoed
constructed for
madly
yourself.
inside my head.
But I can't
I dug my
do it
nails
by
into the
myself.
palms of my hands to stay
You need
focused.
to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery.
É verdade, né?
Come along. Let's go inside.
Sim.
Here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Emerson.
I got you. I'm a real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson,
Okay. Sorry. Boo.
that's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on video
Elbow
games.
strike. Ooh,
It's
yeah.
trash, of course, but it does involve
Get him
some
to the head.
small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
Come, Alan, this way. Now, you might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
Bem-vindo, clique de código leite. Aqui podemos dar-lhe a ajuda especializada que precisa. Porém, observe o seguinte: peça a seus amigos e familiares para planejarem visitas de modo a não interferirem em sua terapia e ou períodos de criatividade. Por favor, respeite a privacidade e o espaço pessoal do resto dos pacientes, especialmente durante seus processos criativos. Seja paciente. Nossos pacientes têm problemas criativos de longo prazo que não serão resolvidos da noite para o dia. Permita-se o tempo necessário. Tenha em sua mente que receberá voluntariamente um tratamento específico para o seu problema. A terapia do compromisso. A terapia do compromisso é o seu método associado, o fluxo. São mais eficazes quando você dá formas e os conduz. Se tiver qualquer dúvida, por favor, não hesite em nos perguntar.
My romanticism's killing me. There's a storm coming. Oh, what a storm.
I hope it wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And these two are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Thor. They had a, how should I put this, a heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
Oh, that won't do. I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
Será que isso tudo está acontecendo comigo aqui dentro mesmo?
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny. Yeah! Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Say, you're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
My head was clearing up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Tom, you got any booze on you?
Yeah, no.
We have a stash of the special stuff at the farm. Our own formula. Local ingredients. Medicine. Clears your head right up. Makes you remember like moonbeams on the brain.
Oh, I just noticed. Leather patches on the elbows? That's not very rock and roll.
Tom just lost is all. Baba Yaga got to him too, the damn witch.
She used us all. Taken from all of us. Took my thunder, the witch.
And my ravens. What were they? Memory and thought. The hag.
She took something from you too, didn't she? That's what she does.
We're better off. This place, the lake, it gives you power. If you're a creator, an artist, a god,
Nightmares shifted in their sleep in the darkness of the lake.
Yeah, that's the one. She makes sure it comes out twisted and raw. Just ask the lamp lady. She knows what happened to that other rider.
Zane could feel the poems, taking form, shaping things. As he experimented, he imagined he could almost feel the power surging through the keys of the typewriter. It exhilarated him. But there was fear, too. If not for his young assistant Emil, he would have given it up. But Emil convinced him otherwise. He too had a way with words.
Mas Emil convenceu do contrário. Ele também tinha talento com as palavras.
He's been using you, boy. And you let her. You went and opened the door for her, didn't you?
Now, it was already open a crack. And whose fault is that? We're morally corrupt, disease-ridden, old and stupid.
Doesn't mean he had to open it all the way, goddammit.
I'm a bad dream, and you can't wake up.
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartman likes them. He has them in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better. Well, I guess I'd better start wrapping this up. The storm is almost here. Look at that. I'd hate to be...
Eu ficava muito tempo vendo que ela fala não.
To the toaster. Talk all the time and express their feelings. So
Yeah, good thing he's not
The doors were
overreacting or
locked.
anything.
Hartman and the nurses would have keys, but there was
I may
no
need a
way
hand
to get
here
my
later on,
hands on
Birch.
them.
The storm's bound to make you-know-who jumpy. You know how they get.
Gotcha. The doc's got me looking after Wake here, but holler if they get
Something's wrong.
I'll do that, Birch.
I'm not myself. It's hard to think. There's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be. I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
Esse QR Code aqui. Não vou roubar esse QR Code, não.
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Opa. Fala, gamer. Tá indo, tá indo.
Hey, Wake, why don't you humor Dr. Hartman and give
Hartman
writing
wanted
a
me to
shot,
write.
huh?
I knew I
Typewriter's in your
couldn't,
room.
but I figured I should just play along for now. It was the only thing I could do with Nurse Birch watching me like a hawk.
You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
O que tá falando, caralho? Tá no 4 episódios, não sei quantos episódios são. Mas agora parece que ele... O médico falou que é
The
tudo na
white
cabeça
glare of the
dele.
blank
Então não
page
sei.
in front of me hurt my eyes.
Não sei se é muito grande esse jogo.
My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody, calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
Uma merda aqui embaixo.
Here's a friendly poke from Mjolnir, wench.
Oh, afraid of the crazy brothers, are ya? Not
Pode
so
ser
weak
mesmo.
now, are we?
Parece que ele bateu a cabeça e ficou loucão, ou já tinha um problema mesmo.
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. If she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office window from Sinclair.
Ah, capaz de ser.
I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
Pay the piper.
Maybe you could come out and clean
Vai,
our
Bill.
wrinkled, diapered asses. Since you're so tough, Birch.
Ah, tá interessante, agora mudou completamente. Agora não sei se é tudo na cabeça dele mesmo ou se o cara tá tentando se aproveitar dele. Não sei.
Hartman, do you hear me? I'm gonna do your crazy quack ass to shreds!
Mas tá interessante agora, quero saber.
Seriously! Do you have any idea how much
Ele tá
trouble
pegando
you're in?
transporte.
The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made of the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
É que esse médico falou que ela tá morta e eu ia demorar um pouco pra entender isso. Mas aí tem essas porra louca aí que o cara tá falando.
Hartman wasn't happy. Maude could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time, and he blurted out 2 days.
É, aquele cara que sequestrou, que ele tava junto com ele lá, na verdade, pelo que eu entendi, é da cabeça dele também, pelo que o médico falou, né? É tudo da cabeça dele. É uma coisa que ele começou a escrever e isso afetou a cabeça dele e ele tá loucão agora achando que é tudo verdade, só que não é. Então eu não sei se é verdade ou não agora. Segundo o médico, ela morreu num acidente e morreu afogada.
Hey! You think I can't hear you out there? I hear you just fine.
Barry?
Oxi.
Ow! About time!
Barry, man, am I glad to see you.
We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah. I mean, no! The cops found me at Rose's trailer, but they didn't hassle me too much. I'm obviously a victim in this, and I demanded to be treated as such. Or else I'd sue their asses. Speaking of asses, that Fed gave me a real hard time, but I had no clue where you were. That guy's crazy, Al. But he let me go, and then I get a call from Hartman, that son of a bitch, who tells me you're here, and I should come pick you up, but when I got here, 2 goons clobbered me and stuck me in there.
What's with the cutout?
I stole it from the diner to piss off Rose after what she did to us. That'll teach her.
Yeah, that's a harsh punishment.
Do nada o cara aparece aqui, já sabe onde que é os lugares e tudo, né?
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, let's just...
Go!
Wake, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
Vai ter que matar o médico agora, quer ver? Ah não, ele saiu, achei que tava ali.
The dark presence would be on me in a moment. I had to find a way out.
Tá, não é aqui. Ai. A câmera desse jogo é horrível, cara, pra controlar.
I needed light to get the possessed bookshelves out of my way.
Mas eu tenho que sair.
There had been a generator and a work light on
é
the
verdade.
property.
Lá em cima.
Hartman followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning, even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartman chose to ignore it. Wake was finally within his reach.
Quanto que vai usar? Isso deve ter muito cara de ser com... Tá, não abre? Meu Deus, vai quebrar essa porra. Ah, é térmica, peraí. Vou pegar o máximo de térmica possível.
Hey, come on! We gotta get going! I found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Barry, I don't have a light.
Take this, Al! Oh, God! Look at the house, Al! Look out!
Isso! Atravessa o jardim. Tá bom, meu querido, pera aí. Ah, não acredito que ele me acertou. Sem sair. Don't trust Emil.
Hartman knew he was no creator. He had no ambitions on that front. And he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartman to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, suitable subjects were few and far in between.
Donos de forma difícil de escrever ou até pior. Para ele era suficiente manter o controle criativo e estabelecer diretrizes, ser o produtor. Isso era o que ele precisava a maioria dessas pessoas, na realidade. Mas claro, entre os pacientes e sujeitos apropriados eram bastante raros. Tinha outros que não li?
I stared at the Viking paraphernalia that littered the area, surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-size stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a deafening boom and the music started blasting, it felt strangely appropriate.
O que desligou que tu falou? Afete? O que é afete? Cacete. O que desligou, louco? Tem esquerda e direita.
Hartman hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartman had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartman double-checked everything, just to be sure.
Cara. Okay. Municiones. No me abandones. Então vai ter que pegar o Hartman, então. Vai ter que tentar com o Hartman. Ah, não, é outra. Ah, que isso? Ah, não, aí não. Ah, é. Porra. Aí é difícil.
You get 2 pills in the morning, and then you'll be nice and calm all day long. You get 3 pills in the evening, and then you'll
Tem uma caixa, eu não sei o que tem ali dentro da caixa. Não tem mais sinalizador, mas não tem sinalizador ainda. Vai lá, nem esquenta, vai lá.
You get 2 pills in the morning, and then you'll be nice and calm. You get what seems to be yours. That way we don't end up in trouble, and I don't.
Eu dei pro 3. Peguei a garrafa que tava aqui, peguei. Não era difícil. Consegui pegar o sinalizador. Oxi. Entrou na cara. Sem machucado. Porra, não tinha me dado isso antes por quê?
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartman said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, he seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver.
Se pelo menos Mott tivesse de fato sua mulher, esse pensamento o fez estremecer. É, ué. Mas é assim mesmo? Eita! Tem 2 balas só. Um sinalizador? Isso aí então. Tava economizando na passada. Em meu momentum de quem é ele? sei quem é. Nossa senhora. Cadê? É. Agarrar a fita. Não tem finalizador ainda. Beleza. Hartman drug Wake.
Hartman watched as Wake's features
Hartman
slackened.
observou como Wake
The man was
ia
bullheaded,
ceder.
no doubt.
Era
Even lying on the bed, he'd almost broken Hartman's nose the second time. But with a little time, he could break
Ele
Wake
deitado
down,
na cama, quase
give him
quebrou o
proper
nariz de Hartman
direction.
pela segunda vez.
Wake was easily the most
Mas com
promising
pouquinho de
subject
tempo,
he'd
poderia
had.
acabar com Wake.
Well, since Tom really.
Colocá-lo no bom
Sleep
caminho.
well, Alan,
Wake
Hartman
era,
whispered
com
with
toda
a
certeza, o
smile.
jeito mais promissor
Let me take
desde
care of you.
então.
He sniffed
Durou
hard to
bem,
clear his
Alan.
throbbing
Hartman suspirou
nose,
com um sorriso.
swallowed blood,
Deixa-me
and
cuidar de
barely
você.
tasted
Segurou
it.
fundo para limpar seu nariz. Tragou o sangue sem nem senti-lo. Opa! Ah tá, é o Barry. Cadê? No meio do caminho.
Al! You're alive!
Let's get out of here. Can you open this gate?
Maybe.
Barry,
Well, I slammed it shut when the nasty showed up, and the key fits kind of loose in the lock, so, Barry! I'll find it! Don't worry about it!
Não, vai ter corvo também não, né?
hurry up, Barry.
I'm on it! I'm on it!
Ah, tem cara atrás. Tem corvo que me fode ao corvo.
Hurry up, Barry.
I'm on it! I'm on it! It's gotta be here! Just hang on now! Oh, hey, it's around the corner! I found it! I found it! Ah, don't waste a mistake!
Ui. Meu Deus, eu vou...
Al, please tell me we're headed for the nearest "You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon" sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You know what? You owe me big time for this. When this is through, if we make it, I don't care what anybody says, I'm done with darkness. You're gonna buy me a tanning bed as a gift, and I'm gonna live in it.
crazy, but that's fine, Barry.
Oh, you got that right, Al. You're barking mad. You are by far the craziest.
But maybe that's inevitable when you deal with crazy stuff like this. It helps. This is happening, Barry. Alice, they never had Alice. She's trapped in the darkness at the bottom of the lake, but she's not dead.
Al, how can you know that?
I know, Barry. I can...
Al,
No, listen. I can bring her back. I can find her. There's something special about this place. The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. But there's a catch. The dark presence, whatever that thing is, twists it to its own ends. That's why all of this is happening. It's using my manuscript to take over everything.
Al, I believe you.
It happened to Thomas Zane before, it happened to the Andersons.
I believe you. Crazy or not, you're not delusional. Weird shit's going down. That's a fact. I'm on board, man. I'm with you.
The Andersons knew about it, but they were too far gone to tell me with all the drugs they were on. But they wrote it down. There's a message somewhere at their farm, Barry. We just need to find it. Look out!
God damn it, Al, talk to me!
I had lost my gun in the crash. Barry was nowhere to be seen.
Barry! Barry!
Oh, man, you're okay! Jeez, it's good to hear your voice! I was trying to get out of the car, but the ground gave way. Man, what a drop! Don't worry, your cutout is fine.
Forget that! Are you okay?
I hit some bushes, didn't get a scratch. There's no way you can climb down, though. It's like a sheer wall.
Dá o volto. Dá variar. Sem nada na mão.
Ah! Al! There's something moving down here!
Barry, it's a taken! Use a flare, Barry!
Oh! Yeah!
Barry, are you alright?
I'm good, Al! I'm great! Guess you never messed with anyone from New York City before, huh?
Tem uma ovelha daqui.
You're gonna have to find your way around to the farm, Al! I'll be waiting!
Natália vai segurar uma ovelha daqui.
Barry, just wait for me, okay?
Al! I'm not staying here! It's suicide! I'm going to the farm! I'm gonna go ahead and secure the area. You can catch up! Don't worry about it! I'm on the case!
Now he's a Rambo. This would turn into a disaster if I didn't catch up with Barry.
Deixa eu ver o que tem aqui agora. Ah, isso, eu sei nada na mão. Ai! Ai! Ah, é. Da garrafinha pra mim. Ah! Porra, levei na nuca. Foi que o negócio tá lá em cima. Ah, que isso? Ui.
When he stopped the car at the Anderson
Quando parou o
farm,
carro na granja,
Walter felt relieved. Oblivion was close at
se
hand.
sentiu aliviado. Tinha
The brothers wouldn't
esquecido o
miss a jar of
alcance dos
moonshine or
irmãos.
two in the booby hatch.
Os irmãos não
But then he
sentiam
saw
a
the man
falta
on the
de
porch,
uma ou duas
and he
jardas
knew
de
who it
licor
was.
caseiro no manicômio.
Driving for his life and knowing
Então
it
o
was
homem
useless,
trabalhando e
he didn't
reconheceu,
realize he was crying until he
arrancou
couldn't see the
e
road through the
acelerou,
tears.
sabendo que era inútil. Descobriu que estava chorando quando as lágrimas já não deixavam enxergar a estrada. Apagou a luzinha. Pô, eu vou lá pegar aquela... Isso vai dar merda. Oi! Olé! Oi! Ai! Eita porra! Ela tá cansada? Não, não cansa não. Meu Deus! Pera, tô suando. Ah, bicho cansa, não corre, velho.
Shadows crawled over the gate. I needed a light to destroy them to get through.
Tá, e agora? Manuscrito. Tá, pelo manuscrito antes.
Agent Nightingale stared at the passed out rider. The man was sleeping off one hell of a night.
O homem estava dormindo
Nightingale
numa
felt
noite
a stab
infernal.
of envy at Wake's oblivion,
Nightingale
but he
sentiu
had a
uma
job to
pontada de
do.
inveja pela
He put the gun to Wake's head and almost became a murderer. His hand shook and his throat felt tight and dry. Biting his teeth, he tried again to pull the trigger. He lost the nerve. Wake stirred. Nightingale would have to settle for an arrest.
Wake se agitou, Nightingale tinha que se conformar e prendê-lo.
I hoped there'd still be a working generator somewhere around here to power up the old lights by the gate.
Eu pulei porque agora não pulei.
I could sense the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Eu não tinha escolha. Eu não tenho pilha nenhuma. Sério mesmo? Nossa senhora! Dá pra cá que tem aqui. Tá, vamos.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
Será? Uma térmica. Lanterna de alta resistência, sempre bom. Tá. Duas garrafas aqui. Entra. Beleza, beleza.
The car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If it was Barry, I would see the damage soon.
Achei que era cara.
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path.
Tá, tem... Vai me dar
The dark
várias.
presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for,
Quando a trama
it would
chegasse ao
finally
fim,
be free.
finalmente estaria livre. Entendi. Putz, vai me dar... Ah, tá, achei que era... Tá, mas cuidado. Acho que era 11 páginas. Uma térmica ali em cima. Mais um manuscrito.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return.
Sabia que dessa
The
vez
darkness
não
around them
retornaria.
seethed with
A
horrors,
escuridão que
but
os
Tor
rodeava
and Odin were
fria
unafraid.
de horrores,
Their
mas
eyes
Thor
glinted
e
with
Odin
guile. They knew
não tinham
every
medo.
secret path, and there was blood on their
Seus olhos
hands.
brilhavam com
They had fought these
astúcia,
shades
conheciam
before.
todos os caminhos secretos e havia sangue em suas mãos. Já haviam lutado contra sombras.
Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
É isso? Vou pegar isso aqui. Não. Não. Ah, eu tô só 14. Mas vai vir. Eu vou pra luz agora, foda-se. Ai, tá chegando a luz, tá chegando a luz. Não. vai chegando. Tá fazendo elevador. Esqueci esse detalhe. Posso usar um pelo menos. Tem 3. Não pode errar esse sul, não pode errar. Olha! Sobe! Você tá maluco?
I could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
Driver.
Hello? Anybody here? Barry!
No! Danny, you're not! Ah! Please! Ah! What are you? Ah! No! Don't! I'm sorry! Ah! Ah!
Morreu? Ah, foi coisa pra pegar, peraí. Licença. 2 portas. Yes.
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie. The best friend's suddenly the bad guy who wrote this crap anyway.
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true for this to work. There have to be victims along the way, near escapes, cliffhangers. In a horror story, it can't be certain that the hero will succeed or even survive. He almost has to die. I'll write my own escape into the story next. I need help. Zane's going to be the one who will help me. I'll make it happen.
Tá, entendi o Zane, então o nome dele como personagem. Meu Deus.
guess. Danny, huh?
Esse é do Danny. Vou até a granja.
The farm was still a good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast.
Por fora as coisas. Aquele carro pra lá, isso é?
For a moment, Hartman considered strangling the idiot. Mott was mean-spirited, but easily manipulated, an emotional infant who lived for his approval. Wade, by contrast, was a far more difficult subject. Mott had given him too much leash. In 2 days, who knew what could happen? Hartman would have to find a way to rein him in, and quickly.
Mantê-lo sob as rédeas e rápido. Tinha alguma coisa aqui que melhor? Tá, teve que carro assim, pelo jeito.
If Barry wasn't up here, he was probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry.
Térmica, mas a térmica, vou pegar aqui. Pra cima também. Tem coisa pra fazer. Ele vai ter inimigo pelo som. Não. Isso não tem nada. Coisa aqui em cima.
Well, as I'm sure everyone's noticed, that storm we all felt coming is finally here. The boys at the Weather Service reckon it'll last until morning, at the very least. Pertaining to that, let me read that missing persons alert again. The Sheriff's Department's still looking for a Caucasian woman, 30 years old, slim.
Era óbvio. Tá? vai dar bom. Quem entra aqui? Não. Ok. Eu, hein? O cara que vai dar merda. Vou partir mais.
I'd known the brothers used to be some kind of rock stars, but it hadn't really sunk in until I saw the stage.
Ow! Run! Incoming! There's too many of them!
God damn!
I'm so glad you decided to go it alone, Mr. Monson.
Shut up and shoot! Ow! We have to fight them off! I can set off more of the fireworks from here and help you out!
Nossa senhora.
Bright Falls, rock and roll capital of America.
Ok, deixa eu pegar tudo que dá pra pegar até lá. Meu Deus, aumenta a doideira isso. Deixa eu botar isso.
Hey, Al! This way to the farm!
Tudo cheio, tudo cheio.
See, bestseller? No reason to worry. Your cutout's good as new, right where I left it. I'll come back for it once we have the place secured.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time.
É um, tem que lá pegar.
The storm raged on as the Deputy Mulligan tuned Thornton's chatter out. He didn't think riders were particularly useful people, and a huge manhunt for one stuck him as idiotic. Certainly not worth the missed opportunity for coffee and pie. It wasn't even clear what the man had done, except run from them at the trailer park. Mulligan knew he wasn't alone. The sheriff's patience with the Fed was running out.
Mulligan sabia que não estava só. A xerife estava perdendo a paciência com a agente da FBI. Ok. Não, claro. Na casa deles. Ele tem negócio lá em cima. Apertar. Como é que tá por aqui? Não.
We need to get this thing moved out of the way.
This is as far as I got before they ambushed me.
Ambush.
Hey, I think Alan Wake here has something to say. What's that, Al?
Oh, I'm Alan Wake. I'm always right about everything. And if I don't get my way, I'll sulk all day long. I'm always intense and moody. It makes me very attractive and mysterious. Right now, I'm just standing here because I need my best friend Barry to carry me. But that's okay. I can just take him for granted.
I think I see what you did there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You want me to do my imitation of Barry Wheeler? No? Thought so.
Wow! You look at that thing, Al! They really went all out with this Viking crap, didn't they? Look at all this stuff. They must have done okay for themselves, so how come I never heard of these guys?
Sleep. We all spend
Oh, Night Spring. Man, it's been a memory. Hey, remember when I got you that gig? Your first real writing job. What got you started? Was this one of your episodes?
Tá dando muita coisa, vai ter. Tô com um chefe aqui. Tá dando muita coisa, tô cheio de tudo.
That's by someone else.
We join Mr. Jones. He explores the endless dreamscape, only to be brought to a sudden stop by a decidedly mundane situation.
Hey, Jones, right? Listen, we're gonna have to wait until His Highness over there is good and ready. Oh, wow. Who's that? You don't know him? What are you, new? He's the guy training us. Well,
It's 1976.
Em
Madness
1976,
reigns
a
at the
loucura reina
Anderson
na
farm.
versão
Contrary to all
contrária, porque
logic,
a lógica
the headiest ingredient of their moonshine is unfiltered water from Cauldron Lake. The Andersons feel like gods. Odin can't stop laughing. He contemplates cutting his eye out. Thor runs across the field, naked, shrieking, hammer in his hand, trying to catch lightning. Their songs have power. Something ancient is stirring in the depths, coming back. The Viking boat looked imposing, almost like a battering ram.
Então, espera que eu vou ver tem que olhar pra baixo. Esse já turno nesse ou aqui? Agora, será que eu tô finalizando o jogo? Pequena até. Recarrega pelo menos. Cadê a mãe? Sei que tinha coisa que eu não tinha que pegar aqui. Flash. Como é que eu guardei a flash? Tá, tenho 2 flashes e 9 sinalizadores.
I think we can make it through here, Al! Wow! Those geezers had quite a production going on. Ooh, you know what, Al? If we make it through this alive, I'm gonna start representing them. Yep, sell this stuff online, maybe get a reality show going, release a new single.
Good luck with that, pal.
Hey, you find us a way out of here, okay? I'm gonna take a closer look at this stuff.
Legal, pegar coisa.
Be careful, Al!
Mas é sério que vai ser na loucura? Ah, sai fora.
I'm good. Keep your eyes open, okay?
Bem. Então, tem que subir aqui esse cara. É muito forte, cara, esse cara. Lanterna. Tá. Vou ativar isso aqui.
As you regular listeners know, I tend to work through the night, but I'm not the only one. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton are taking a couple of moments off their busy schedule to join me here in the studio. Boys, how busy are you now? Deerfest is almost here, isn't it?
The elevator was dead. I'd have to get some power to it first.
We've been other stuff. Which concerns an ongoing investigation. Can't talk about that. Was he gonna say anything?
I could see the building that had to be the Andersons' home on the other side of the field. It wasn't far now. I wasn't worried about trusting the ramblings of two burned-out geriatric wrecks. They had the goods.
Tá, ainda tá fechado, né?
Got to be kidding me.
Eu tenho nunca são, né? Você não? Foi só onde você vai ver? Ah, eu vi que tinha. Ok. Tá, é pra lá, só que provavelmente não vai dar pra entrar por aqui. Ah, tá, tem aqui. Esqueci do Barry já. Entrar aqui, porque ele entrar aqui. Deixa eu circular.
Al? Is that you out there, buddy?
Yeah, it's me. Hang on.
Hey, let's go, man. we're gonna have to work together to open this gate, Al. Looks pretty heavy. Ah! Hey, I think that's the farm on the other side of the field. We're almost there. This farm is a crazy place for crazy people.
We should feel right at home then.
Come on, one more gate. Let's do this thing. The lights are out. I guess we better check the fuse box.
The power downstairs was out, but I was sure I could fix that at the fuse box.
Sabia. O Barry, porra. Puta que não dá, vou ter que subir. Tem uma portinha aqui. Outra garrafa de café. Mais um. Sai daí, Barry. Caralho.
You know, this place looks kind of lived in. I thought the Andersons were on the booby hatch.
Essa lanterna é muito forte.
Come on, Al, let's get the lights on, huh?
Vamos canto aqui. Falta poucos segundos, na verdade. Faltam 3.
Again, Alice's screams rang in the stillness of the night. I saw myself run toward the cabin, flashlight in my hand. I followed my past self. I was an out-of-body observer, a time traveler in a crazy drunken dream. This was the beginning. The night Alice had disappeared. The mystery of what had happened during the missing week was about to reveal itself.
Será que realmente está acabando? Aperta o ESC, não aperta ESC. Transfusíveis.
Can you hear that, Al? Was it?
Of course. We need to find where it's coming from. That's the message the Andersons talked about. That's the whole reason we're here.
Lady of the
Os
Light?
antigos sabem a
That's gotta
verdade.
be, what's her face, the crazy lamp lady from the town.
Cynthia Weaver.
Right, must be.
Sai da frente, velho.
The record's probably just a little dusty, Al.
Okay. We need to find Cynthia Weaver. We'll stay here for the night and head back to town as soon as it gets light.
Hey, Al. Lots of hours before dawn. Might as well get some rest. And by rest, I mean drunk.
Come on, Barry, this is... Yeah, what the hell?
I'm sorry about this. No, seriously, because I know we don't get along, but we're gonna find her, right? Even though you're a crazy bastard, I'm gonna stick by you, no matter what, ever, Al. Sure, like a brother.
I'm a writer, goddammit.
Correct.
If I just wanted to, I could write 10 books a year. And they'd be the best books that year.
No, you couldn't.
That's right, I couldn't. But I could, because I'm a writer.
What? What do they put in this stuff? I feel like my brain is coming out of my nose. I'm gonna get the recipe off those coots and be,
The booze millionaire.
I just miss her, Barry. I just want her here with me.
I know, Al. I know. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it okay.
Até o chalé. Tá aqui.
Alice, I'm coming. It's all right. I'm coming.
It was a crazy drunken dream, and yet it was more than that. It was the truth, a suppressed memory unearthed by the Andersons' moonshine. I was there, an out-of-body observer. This was the night Alice and I had arrived at Bright Falls, the night Alice had disappeared. I had a chance to find out what had happened. I remembered being surprised to see the cabin dark. Alice would have never turned the lights off.
Okay.
I remembered thinking I caught a glimpse of her form underwater, sinking into the darkness. Diving after her was the last vague memory I had of that night. After that, the next thing I could remember was waking up behind the wheel of the crashed car and finding the first pages of the manuscript. I couldn't find her in all that blackness. I must have thought she drowned.
Alice!
Jagger had Alice, and so she had me.
Alice!
I'd been easy prey.
Look at the cabin. Is there someone in the window?
Alice?
Maybe she didn't drown after all. Maybe she's inside.
Alice!
Yes.
The dark presence had touched me. She had dug her nails into my brain and used me, made me her puppet.
She must be here somewhere. Maybe upstairs in the study.
Alice!
Yes, that's where she is. You can apologize.
Alice!
You'll laugh at the whole thing together and put it behind you.
Alice?
She's not here. You were foolish to think so. No, she's dead. She drowned.
No, no, no!
It's your fault your wife is dead. You are guilty. All she wanted was to help you right. You killed her.
Ah!
Oh, hush. There's still hope. Cauldron Lake is a special place. Here, you have the power to change things. She wanted you to write. I will tell you what to do. You can write her back. The story will come true, and all will be well again.
She had Alice, and the manuscript was the ransom for her.
Começo.
Yes. I'll write. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back. No. I wrote it. I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Even with the cobweb she put in my head, some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story, to bring a light into the cabin to release me before I could finish, to interrupt the horror story before the ending, where darkness consumed everything and everyone. Zane was weak and far away, but I had written him into the story, and his light had been enough to set me free.
It isn't here now. I'm here because it was written. I brought the light to set you free. You must hurry. It will know I'm here. It will be back soon. It stole the skin of my Barbara a long time ago. She looks so old.
Cara, que porra é essa que merda?
I had woken up, confused and groggy, my mind consumed by darkness and fear. All I could do was to escape. The week spent in the cabin had taken its toll. I was barely conscious and fading fast.
Daí que ele caiu,
It had to have cost Zane terribly, thrown him even deeper into whatever dark place he now haunted. But he had managed to weaken the dark presence, kept me safe that night.
I wrote it. It's my fault.
That's right, James Joyce. It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.